Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today has the possibly temporary title of Ochre Woods. I painted this back in January, and I'll be honest, I wanted to do more to it, but January is getting to be 3 months ago now, and I just don't think I will. So I'd have more umber stuff for you, but I thought I'd just give that a rest, kind of clean everyone's palettes. I have some super amazing umber ones actually, but that's all right. We're going to watch Mike's struggle painting, and I think it came out good. I think it's saleable. Uh, I've gone after this kind of scene before, and I struggle with them because the level of complexity with the rocks and the trees, no sky, is off the hook. But I had a plan, and the plan was yellow, yellow, yellow on this one. So I ended up doing some glazing at the end. You may want to stay tuned for that because you can see how it really sets everything in. Pretty cool. Um, and I'll tell you now, I mean, one of the things I was thinking of doing was more highlights on the tree, but it already had gotten to a point where I felt like I'd really worked it a lot. And if you hit that point with your paintings, it's probably best to just leave it be. I'm certainly happy to sell this painting and show it in my upcoming show and stuff. Pardon me, I'm going to move this. And I know from where you're sitting, you hear a little crinkle. So sorry about that. I'm also going to pick up where we left off on the composition of outdoor painting by Edgar Payne. His amazing essay at the back of his book. It's called Conclusion, but he could have put it at the front and called it everything you need to know about art and being an artist, because it's a brilliant essay. And who knows how far we'll get through it, because I tend to interrupt him all the time with my 2 cents. But you're looking for some tips? You're looking for some insights, eh? That's why you're here. You want content. Well, yeah. What can I say? Going after complex scenes, you always got to simplify. Even a scene like this has been incredibly simplified, but it's a bit more detailed than maybe. I don't know. I'll keep going after this kind of scene until I get some mastery. I've done a few strong paintings like this. Um, the thing that I kind of what would you get hung up on, Mike? It looks perfect to me. I got hung up on those rocks in the at the end of this path there. I just I don't know. I mean, they they there's rocks in the reference, but everything got very indistinct towards the middle of this painting, and so I installed a lot of what I did here, but I can't say like you see that little curve of that rock there. I get hung up on things. What can I say? Anyway, I'm proud of it. I think it's a good painting, and certainly, even if nothing else, and this is what I'm always telling my students, which that's you. You qualify for this the next 15 minutes here, or 10 now. Um, Even if you do a bad painting, you still have the experience of doing a painting, which is going to manifest in your next good painting because it's hours worked with painting. I suspect it's the same way with an instrument, unless you're some kind of prodigy like Brian Jones from the Rolling Stones, who could pick up any instrument and be playing it. But did he have mastery? Mastery is what I'm interested in more than just being facile with something. Uh, Now my drawing, you can see I'm spending a heck of a lot of time on this. This, by the way, this is like sped up like 15, 16 times faster than I painted it. The actual live sessions where I'm talking as I'm painting and pretty much saying, talking about what I'm thinking and now I'm trying to figure things out. Um, that is in the live area, the members area, which is pretty modest sum, $6, and you can tip in, tip out, whatever you like. Now that's not instructional videos per se, but what you have is a benefit of being a fly on the wall. You're there in the studio with me, and I have to say, never discount um, the power of the tip. One good tip could change your life as an artist. So And while I'm always trying to throw out tips here, it's in the top of my mind as I'm sitting here in my home office doing a video. When I'm talking during the live videos, it's in the throes of battle, and that's valuable. That's intrinsically valuable, I think, and one of the reasons why I do most of the live content in the members area. Now I'm thinking it's been a while since I threw a video out to the general public so they could see what they were missing, and this might be the one. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And when I do that, usually it goes for a day or so, a day or two or three. Um, and yeah. Anyway, without much further ado, we're kind of at the halfway point, a little before, but I want to get into this essay of, this is from his book, Composition of Outdoor Painting. Oh, yeah, here we are. So he's been talking about how you need to develop your own viewpoint, your own opinions, and then you need to learn to listen to the good advice of those that have come before you, and not to think because you had a few early successes that you know or understand what the heck's going on, because that's generally it's just an ego game. It really is. I'm sorry to say. What's happening there is you just haven't painted long enough to realize that you really don't know what you're doing. Yeah, that's me. I mean, I kind of know what I'm doing, but I'm learning every day. I know I'm not a master, and I mean, I have some degree of mastery, certainly enough to, burble on here. And I'm certainly further along than a lot of other people that haven't been doing it for 10, 15 years and then, had an art career before that, and et cetera, and so on and so forth. Anyway, we're on page 133. Um, the fact that fine art, and this is again Edgar Payne, Composition of Outdoor Painting, the fact that fine art is dependent on many ideas, different mannerisms, and in untold instances of instinctive judgment engaging visual as well as abstract measures, all make it a subject of many seeming and actual contradictions. So true. In both theory and practice of art, one factor is apt to interlope on the field of another and either partially or wholly destroy the latter's importance. Perhaps in the next instance, there is a reversal and the last factor overly influences the first factor. The balancing of influences or judging between forces is a problem for the beginner, the advanced student, and the experienced painter. We all struggle with these same things. Think of it as a helix, it starts like a small tight, and as you go up through the helix, you keep going in circles, but you keep getting wider and wider. So a lot of times you have insights or repeat insights at a higher level. You think you understood it, and then 2 years or a year down the road, you're understanding it at a whole another level. Yeah. Every beginner should remember that he, as well as those who are more competent, has much of the same problems and that only experience can make a solution just a little easier. So true. And you're seeing me struggle here. My drawing was really tight. I'm thinking next time I go after this, I might keep things a lot looser. So, uh, that's one thing I'll throw out there. And the drawing almost really looked quite beautiful on its own. Although, yeah, I'm happy with the painting. I'm okay. That's all right. It's another painting in the can. Moreover, back to Edgar. Moreover, solving any problem does not depend on how much the individual knows or how much he practices, but it does depend on his ability to instinctively feel the measures or judge the quality between factors or influences that have direct bearing on each particular condition, circumstance, or picturization. The study of art does not consist in accumulating a lot of facts merely for the purpose of carrying around a mental encyclopedia. The purpose, and this is one reason, if I can interject, Edgar. People ask me about the history of this or that. I mean, I have a basic knowledge of art history, but almost always as it pertains to me creating pictures. So if you ask me about some artists that may have been hugely important to some art historians here or there, I may not know much about him because I'm not into what he's doing. Whereas I can know quite a lot about someone like Whistler or Georgia Ness or John Francis Murphy, who was the last video we did, you know, because I want to do what they're doing, or I want to do something similar, or I want to succeed on the same level. It's never that I want my work to look like another artist. I just want my work to be great, and I'm sure you do too. Back to Edgar. The purpose of reason or knowledge is to guide imagination and invention in reducing ideal mental concepts into pictorial realities. Theory, he has it in quotations by the way, is the guide. Practice, the ratification, and life of theory. Appreciation, imagination, natural impulses, and reason combine to form theories or concepts. These, even with the element of logic, are not always practical. Then again, some degree of reason must come to guide the hand in producing a practical, visual reality. Logic is needed in studying the theory and purpose of art, in forming concepts of pictorial plans, and in building the actual picture. Yeah, let's just keep reading. Hey, aren't you going to interrupt, Mike? No, I'm good. Abstract quality comes from nobility in thought, intuitive judgment, plus good craftsmanship or skill in building the picture. Such analysis is sound reasoning. Beauty in both the abstract concept and the concrete visual structure is essential. The ideology must be complete. Unworthy ideas or gross errors in painting are always disturbing and unforgivable. And I do have something to say about that because this is a trap amateurs fall into. And it's because they've struggled mightily. They're invested and they're not objective, that they may become blind to the egregious errors in their work. In fact, all of us fall victim to that, okay? The professional, though, knows never to get too enamored by anything he's done, you know, whereas the amateur may become quite enamored with something that is, how do you put it, error that's unforgivable or disturbing. And they are, really. Some errors are okay, other errors are too egregious. And usually those errors, oh, they could fall in any of the spectrum of painting, but in my opinion, 9 times out of 10, they're errors in composition. Because if your composition's good and your values are good, your color can be okay, and you'll still have a moderately or a reasonably successful painting. But if the composition's bad, you're just in purgatory, You got nowhere else to go. Throw it away, start over, do it again. Anyway, we've got time to finish off this page. Discord in any composition, assuming all faculties competent, can only originate from two main causes: misjudgment in the concept or mistakes in applying drawing mediums or pigment. However, there might be other underlying causes, on occasion, for instance, when the mind or body are not in condition to depict. On occasions, for instance, when the mind or body are not in a condition to depict, like you're not in your strong self. Oh, you saw me hit that with the glaze. You saw it go golden. Now you're going, wow, this is pretty ummy. I like it. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen. I knew that was going to be good. That's probably what will sell this painting. And it's a saleable painting. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful forest. The painter may be unwell or tired. Again, overconcentration might cause the judgment to be poor, or at times things do not look right for no apparent reason. We'll stop there. And this is one of the reasons why I tend to actually paint 2, 3, at most 4 hours in a day. And to be honest, it's usually 2 to 3 hours. Because what happens is you start to get, even you might feel okay, but you're making so many decisions. I mean, it's thousands and thousands. Your ability to have good discernment, it varies. It wavers. Some days you might be very strong. Other days you're very weak. On the days you're weak, you might go after a half hour. You might have a half-hour window of good discernment. On a great day, 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever, when I was an illustrator, I'd have to come up with it for 8 to 10 hours, Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you for joining me today. I think I'll pop this on, make this available for the general public. Heck, they can watch all 3 hours of it. And meanwhile, thank you members, by the way. Really appreciate you. And I'll be back real soon with another video. Meanwhile, take good care. Stay out of trouble.